So we're introducing some new songs here
We are.
at CrossRoads, and there's always a process involved in choosing those songs. You don't just pick them because you like them, right? You might like them, but there's got to be obviously more thought and prayer put into it. So let's talk about that. What does that process look like for you?
Yeah, we try and make sure that it's not just because we like them that we pick them, but that we're thinking about what we need to be singing these days, right? So we chose the song Same God. And so this is a song that kind of picks up on some of the themes of lament. A big one is us remembering God's faithfulness, and that and like the title suggests that our God is the same God. He was God, with Jacob and David and Mary, and it's the same God that we serve these days too. And so a part of lament is remembering His faithfulness when we go through challenging times and stuff like that. So that's why we've chosen that song. One of the reasons, anyways.
So, and as we go into the lament series, that it's not just that we have this posture of maybe there's things like everyone will be lamenting something, right, in their own life, and it's not just focusing on those things, but this song brings us to that sense of where do we go with our lament, right, and that's great, pointing us to that.
Yeah, when we choose new songs, we are thinking of many different angles. We think about what names we use for the Lord. We think about how fast songs are compared to other songs we have. We think about it in many, many different ways. This one, I like that it uses a name of God that we actually haven't really used very much, which is Rock of Ages, or the Rock. And so that's kind of cool that we're exploring what that means. Like Rock of Ages would be just talking about His faithfulness, His inexhaustible strength as a rock, and it's through the ages. Yeah, I love the chorus. Pastor Dan often says that we need to start our prayer time with an admission of, like, apart from you I can do nothing. I am here praying because, oh God, my God, I need you. So it kind of puts words to that in our mouths in a worship setting. So I love that. Numbers 23 says, God is not a man, so He does not lie. He is not human, so He does not change His mind. Has He ever spoken and failed to act? Has He ever promised and not carried it through? So this song just invites us to reminisce on that, the ways that He showed His character to us throughout history, throughout biblical history, and He's always kept His promises.
You reign above it all, you reign above it all.
So Reign Above It All is not a new song. I've sung it probably, I first heard it 2 or 3 years ago. The first time I heard it, it just really struck me, that just declaring that you reign above it all, you reign above it all. Now that I'm in a position that I can sort of speak into song selection, it was one that I brought and suggested, and I just think it's a good declaration. Like the first verse says, the reign of darkness now is ended. Now I understand that the enemy is still at work, and that, but we as believers, we stand in a position of victory, right?
Yeah, it's not a song that sings of our need, of our introspective.
Yeah,
it is a song of declaration that it's kind of like Revelation 4, where we're just singing, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. Like our focus is on Him. He reigns above it all, and it's good to declare that together as people. Yeah, I believe the breakthrough happens in those moments where we are just declaring who God is, and like we say, we're lifting our eyes, right, and we're focusing on the one who reigns above it all and who has us in His hands. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's more of a hallowed be your name, your kingdom come kind of a song.
Yeah.
Than give us our daily bread. Whereas the same God is maybe a little bit more of a give us our daily bread. I need you.
Yeah.
So it lifts our eyes higher. It's so good to remember that there's something so much bigger than COVID, and so much bigger than the protests in Ottawa, and so much bigger than politics. In fact, it makes all those things seem just laughably tiny
Right.
in comparison to who God is and how He reigns, that He is King.
Yeah, and what I love about songs like that is they can be sung in any circumstance, right? And so whatever you're facing, I think we need the lament and we need that, but we need to be able to rise above that, not to minimize like the pain we may feel, but actually to point it in the right direction. You can legitimately sing that song no matter, because it's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Some songs it's like I don't feel like this is true for me, but something like this, it's like this is true no matter what.
Right. It's sort of that latter part of lament, right? Because when you read through the Psalms, the lament Psalms, there's that moment where the psalmist always says, nevertheless I will, or nevertheless you are, and so there's that crying out, and yet finishing with the but, but you are God and you're in control, and and that so it actually it's a part of the lament process as well too, that declaration. Yeah, so it's good. Hebrews 2:14 says this: since the children have flesh and blood, he too shared in their humanity, that being Jesus, so that by his death he might destroy him who holds the power of death, that is the devil. So that's when we sing the reign of darkness now is ended. We're just referencing, that the work of Jesus on the cross, and his resurrection, and that he has fully and completely defeated our enemy. So we can live in that victory.